things going on. You've got a Tabernacle. There's a Dark Depths out there. Zoom in on the screen, please. Looks like we have an Exploration. A Rashad Port's going to tap something. So these lands board states are always very complicated. But you see the Dark Depths token has a land with it, I presume, for the Tabernacle, so he doesn't forget.
Although, interestingly enough, because we saw this come up, Tabernacle, I believe, just destroys the creature. It is not a sacrifice, even though there's no reason to believe it works that way.
Yeah.
So Tabernacle does not kill Merit Lage. You do not have to pay for it, is my understanding.
That is correct, and I will tell you how I remember how. When we were in Columbus, third weekend of the year, Kenan Haas, after he had won week 1 with Jund Depths, his crazy Life from the Loam deck that he put on the map in week 1 of the Open Series this year, there was a point in time where he had a Dark Depths in play, and we were like, I hope he passes the test, remembers to pay, and he quickly drew his card, untapped and attacked, and we were like, all right, he's got to stop the match. And Kenan looked at the judge, he's just like, you don't have to pay.
Yep.
I know how my deck works.
Yep.
And he taught us something.
Correct.
That weekend. So Harry is paying for it because it seems as though you're supposed to. It is completely understandable.
And Harry, with that Italian Tabernacle in play, I'm sure doing him no favors. Although, who even knows if it was in English? I'm sure the template's horrible, and it's potentially been errata too. So
yeah, I don't think that would do him very many favors either.
So right now, that Merit Lage token that you see in play that's a lethal attacker is being held off by Elephant Grass. So what Harry is trying to do is basically pin down Lloyd's mana here, eventually break out of the Elephant Grass, and then kill in one shot.
That must be some really tall grass.
I mean, elephants hide in it, so.
What's bigger, an elephant or an avatar?
Well, that's hard for me to say.
Harry going to be reaching for some mana here. You see his lands. Yeah, again, this board state's a little bit complicated. There's a couple copies of Grove of the Burn Willows out there. You see him rearranging those. 2 copies of Rashad Port and a Thespian Stage. 2 Mox Diamonds. It's got a Taiga up near the top. You see the Tabernacle. Another copy of Dark Depths. Going to cast a Life in the Loam, it looks like here. Going to go reaching for the graveyard. So the Taiga's part of his graveyard, even though now it's going to be added to his hand.
And the issue here for Harry, if you're looking at Lloyd's hand, is there is at least 1 copy, possibly 2 copies of Replenish in Lloyd's hand, which means that even if he can no longer pay the upkeep for Elven Grass, if he can get to 4 mana, he can simply recast Replenish and set this all back up.
Corvese would like to take a gamble.
I like it.
Now this is fun.
I think he's getting Crozan Grip to try to win the game here. So this is not gamble for Loam, and I don't really care what happens. No, this man is gambling. 3-card Monty.
Well, let's roll the dice, as it were. 1, Taiga to the bin. 3 mana. Grip it and rip it. Take care of that. Take care of you. That's going to do it. Harry Corvese is going to win game number 2. We're going to head to what is going to be a pretty fun game number 3 here between Lands and Enchantress. Wowee, this is going to be interesting. I guess we'll take a look at the sideboard so you can see both players are having fun. I can't say that I'm not. These are 2 very fringe decks, but they're a lot of fun to watch play.
So Harry has 2 copies of Dark Depths. He has 2 in his main deck, a Bajuka Bog, a Crop Rotation, a Chalice of the Void, 4 Crozan Grips, 4 Sphere of Resistance, and 2 copies of Thorn of Amethyst. I suspect Harry wants the 4 copies of Crozan Grip, or at least a couple copies, the 2 Dark Depths, and the Crop Rotation. He can't mess around. Lloyd's a pretty fast combo / lock deck, and a lot of Harry's value Loam plays don't do a ton, so Harry needs to convert much more into a combo deck himself. If he's aware of Replenish in Lloyd's deck, of course he's going to want Bajuka Bog, which is an incredible crop rotation target in response to Replenish.
Other side of things, we're going to look at Oblivion Ring, a Rest in Peace. 3 copies of Swords of Plowshares, Melody of Stony Silence, a Ruined Halo, a Vexing Shusher, a Karmic Justice, 2 Chokes, and 3 Land of Sanctities. Just what I was looking for in an Enchantress sideboard.
The Rest in Peace is going to be coming in.
Yes, it will. That one is pretty easy. Oblivion Ring I actually kind of like. There's a lot of targets for that card, so I imagine that'll be joining us. You think Humility? I don't think so, right? Like, it takes care of the Dark Depths token.
Now that Harry has shown Crozan Grip, I don't think you can mess around with that. Maybe it was boarded in for game 2, but it doesn't seem like it does enough game 3.
Really about it. I don't really see too much more here. Maybe Ruined Halo, but I don't know if he needs that either. But that's really about the long and the short of it. This Replenish deck, of course, 4 Argothian Enchantress. A lot of enchantments other than that. You're going to find Wild Growth, Elephant Grass, Utopia Sprawl for acceleration, and of course Elephant Grass for the ability to protect yourself for a little while. Sigil of the Empty Throne, making 4/4s. You've got an Enlightened Tutor here to be able to search for some of these one-ofs. A Moat, 3 copies of Solitary Confinement, 2 Miri's Guile, 4 Sterling Grove, a Words of War, a Raking Canopy, sure, a Ruined Halo, and an Oblivion Ring.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Raking Canopy, I suppose that is there to take care of Delver of Secrets when it flips. Shoot that down.
Can't moat it.
You cannot. Any flyers are dead. Except for Dark Depths tokens. Gonna take a lot more than 4 damage.
Right. I'm disappointed sometimes that these Enchantress decks don't play the Abyss alongside of moat to get the full 1995 lock.
I would like that, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I don't think the Abyss can kill Argothian Enchantress, so why not?
Can't target it,
Yeah.
right?
It's like Deadly Insect.
Busted.
It's the same deck, basically.
Completely busted.
Yep.
So on one side we have a goofy Enchantress deck, and the other side we have this deck with who knows how many lands. Take a look at the spells here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 25, so 35 lands. This is my kind of deck.
I thought your kind of deck was 35 goblins.
Well, once upon a time, before Goblins, I played lands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've played lands in tournaments. It's so much fun. Mox Diamond to begin. Discarding a Dark Depths. We'll probably need that. Get that one back a little later. Here's an Exploration. Land number 1 and 2. Look at us go. Now Sphere of Resistance.
All right, Harry's gone. I assume he's brought in the Thorns as well in this world.
So the goal is to slow him down quite a bit, and Harry is more than happy to pay 1 more for his spells.
Easily. Miri's Guile, a working man Sylvan Library.
I'm going to say like a variant, I guess you could say. Or maybe a more fair one, or one that actually kind of makes sense.
It's certainly less complicated.
Yeah. 2 mana here. Looks like it's going to be a Utopia Sprawl for Kurth. And it will. So we will get confirmation on what color that is naming in just a moment for everybody at home. And it is naming white for Utopia Sprawl. Corvese going to untap and take a draw here. Now, of course, when you're playing lands, the one card you're looking for is Loam or a gamble for Loam. But the goal is to get that card somehow, and he already does have it. So there is Life from the Loam. Going to play a Dark Depths. See if he's got a second land to play here. And he does not. So all he can do is pass the turn back over to Kurth, who's going to take a look at a Wild Growth, a Sarah Sanctum, and a Sterling Grove.
And Sarah Sanctum really allows Lloyd to break out of this lock.
Please finish your turn. Proceed to 5 turns. If you have a time extension and there is no judge at your table, please call for a judge.
Going to draw a copy of Sterling Grove here. And of course, that will cost 1 more, which he is able to pay. Plays a forest, passes the turn back. Time to dredge a loam for Corvese. A Grove of the Burn Willows, a forest, and a crop rotation.
So if we are in time, Harry could theoretically win if he's able to find his copy of Thespian Sage, but it's going to be tough.
Exploration. So Sterling Grove is going to go search up something. I imagine Rest in Peace, you think? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's going to put a card on top of the deck. Will Sterling Grove, and that'll be Kurth's draw step.
Of course, Harry still could potentially draw his Thespian Stage,
Yep.
but now things are becoming more complicated.
2. You can see the third card would be Rest in Peace here, so Kurth's going to take a look at things, see how he wants to set them up.
Tim Smith and
You see there are just under 9 minutes left in the round here for the players, so a little bit of an extension as they are moved over to the feature match area.
So Lloyd trying to see if he can set up this turn to play the Argothian Enchantress first, play Wild Growth, and then be able to draw the Rest in Peace and cast that to draw some more cards, but I think he's short on mana that way.
So no more loaming for Harry unless he finds a Crow's and Grip and another copy of Loam. So now what he's looking for is a Thespian Stage, or he can find a crop rotation.
Yep.
Yeah. and make a 20/20 and get to work that way.
And the Sphere of Resistance has not done very much at all to stop Lloyd here. It's had some cheap enchantments, and now the Serra Sanctum next turn is really going to let him break out.
Corvese just going to pass the turn back over to Kurth. Taking a look at a couple of cards here, Enchantress Presence among them. Now there is an Argothian Enchantress, and that's the engine. As here's a Serra Sanctum. We're going to add some white mana here, a whole bunch actually. And now another copy of Mirror's Guile, which will draw Kurth a card. Just going to pass the turn back.
It's just $10 to enter the
Crop rotation. I'm going to make a 20/20 and kill you. That is going to do it. Harry Corvese is going to win this match over Lloyd Kurth. 2-1. Lands gets it done over Enchantress via a 20/20 token from Thespian Sage and Dark Depths.
And that's a really valuable addition that Lands has gotten with the printing of Thespian Sage. Back in the day when you're talking about the time where you were playing Lands, you just had to sit there and basically hope that your lock was good while you beat down with Mishra's Factories or some such.
Oh, we had it tough.
Now Lands has a much more streamlined kill that's much faster as well, both in terms of time in the clock and against opposing disruption.
I don't want to tell you how many lifetime activations I have of Barbarian Ring.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not pretty.
Oh, we're going upstairs.
Yeah.
A couple of times.